Hi dear students, I'm your DPL Jad Gandhi sir, that alias like Prasad sir, I'm your the chemistry faculty teaching in the JMI Institute of Excellence. So before going to start our the session, just I would like to request you one thing, like please just subscribe this channel and please share this one, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. So suppose if you hit that bell icon, that you will get that regular notifications from this the channel. Okay, so today I'm going to explain you the chemical bonding, first part of the types of the chemical bond. So let us start with that. Okay, students, so let us start about the new topic today, the types of bonds. Okay, and one more thing, but so before going to start, so once again I'm repeating, so please subscribe the channel and please try to share with your the friends and all, to reach that maximum number of the students and all, each and that everyone. So not only that the chemistry better, so from today onwards, so we are going to start that, I'm going to post that physics and that remaining subjects also in this channel, which can help you for your that IIT NEET purpose, and that, as well as that foundation also. Okay, and don't forget to uh, hit the bell icon, so to get that our regular notifications. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, better. So let us start this topic. Types of bonds first. Let us try to increase the little bit to. Okay, is the chemical bonding. Types of bonds. So first, how many types are there? First, let us see. Come to from the left hand side is the 1, 2, 3, and the 4, 5, and 6. Okay, there are the 6 types of the chemical bonds are there. So let us know the first one. What is that? Ionic bond. Second one is that covalent bond. Third one is that coordinate covalent bond. Otherwise, it simply we can say coordinate bond. Otherwise, it simply we can say coco bonding. Generally, in our that local language, simply we can say as that coco bond. Otherwise, that dative bond also. Okay. Next, to come to that fourth one is that metallic bond. Okay. Fifth one is that hydrogen bond, and this type I think that we are already explained in that previous classes, hydrogen bond. Whereas that last sixth one is van der Waals bond. So very important topic, and chances are there to be given the questions based on this topic, but at this part. So please listen to me carefully and please note down each and everything. So before going to note, please get the screenshot if you want. Otherwise, that if you want to listen the class, just please play back once again. Okay, and go to listen. Now come to the first one, ionic bond. First, ionic bond is formed by what? A transfer of valence electrons. Ionic bond is formed by what? A transfer of valence electrons. So first, what does it mean of that valence electrons? What does it mean of valence electrons? Next, come to explain over here. What does it mean, beta? So first here I am going to explain ionic bond. Going to explain ionic bond. So as I shown this one, what is that, beta? Ionic bond. Ionic bond is formed by what? A complete transfer of valence electrons. A complete transfer of valence electrons. What is that? Ionic bond is going to obtain by a complete transfer of what? Valence electrons. Here V stands for what? Valence electrons. First, what does it mean of that valence electrons? We know, everybody know what is that valence electrons. The number of valence electrons are equal to their group number, isn't it now? Their group number. Okay, the number of valence electrons are equal to their group number. You know, the previous class I have already explained. Let us see, suppose if they are the first A group element, second A, third A group element, 4A, 5A group, 6th A group, 7th A group, and last 8th A group. Otherwise, that zero group or the noble gases, and that so many names are there. Okay. Next, come to the point. So first, according to this statement, what I given better the transfer of valence electrons means what, which it is equal to the group number. So the first A group elements is contains how many number of valence electrons? 1 electron. The second A group 2 electrons. So third A group means 3 electrons, and the fourth A group 4 valence electrons are there. Fifth A group elements like 5 electrons are there. 60A group means 6 valence electrons. 70A group means 7 electrons. As lost, 80A group means 8 electrons are there. Means just like that NS2 NP6, like that we used to write now, like electronic. Okay, I will try to write that electronic configuration of this one also. Okay, for first A group, how can we write the electronic configuration? Just simply NS1. See how many number of electrons? Valence electrons means what? Outermost orbit. Outer orbit electrons. Outer orbit electrons. So in that outer orbit, how many electrons are there? 1. So second A group elements, general electronic configuration, how can we write? NS2. For third A group, how can we write? NS2 NP1. And fourth A group, how can we write? NS2 NP2. And fifth A group elements, as usual, NS2 NP3. Next, NS2 NP4. Seventh A group, simply we can write as that NS2 NP5. And last, NS2 NP6. It's a very much important one, that last one, because it's shown that 8 electrons. If that 8 electrons is present in their outermost orbit, simply we can say is what? Octet electronic configuration. Isn't it now? Simply we can say what? Octet electronic configuration. Now see beta, so in that first one we are having only 1 electron and 2 electrons, and here the 3 valence electrons, like, and here 4 valence electrons are there, and here 2 plus 3 5, and 2 plus 4 6 valence electrons, 2 plus 5 7 valence electrons, and 2 plus 6 8 valence electrons are there. So ionic bond, how it is going to be found? By these transfer of, so these electrons is going to be transferred. These electrons is going to be transferred. This one. Okay, so transfer of these the valence electrons, then ionic bond is obtained. But from which elements to which elements is going to be transferred? Always see this, that electrons is going to be transferred from metal to non-metal. So transferred, how they are going to be transferred? How they are going to be transferred? From a metal to non-metal. Always that electrons is going to be transferred from metal to non-metals. Okay, mostly we know that metals are belongs to positively charged elements, isn't it now? And in non-metals are belongs to a negatively charged elements. Once again I repeat, metals are nothing but what? All the metals is contains positive charge, and all the non-metals is contains negative charge. So that means depending upon this statement, now we can get one conclude, like always this electrons is going to be transferred from positively charged elements to negatively charged elements. Positively charged elements to negatively charged elements. That means here that positive charge is denote to what? Loss of electrons. The negative charge is denote to what? Gain of electrons. So that's why always that electrons is going to be transferred from loss in the sense means that, like in our that local language, simply we can say as the donor also, isn't it now? Simply we can say a donor atom. And gain of electrons means simply here we can say, yes, donor ki opposite, acceptor. Simply we can say acceptor. So that's why an arrow mark is always can be shown from that donor to acceptor. Otherwise that loss of electrons to gain of electrons. Otherwise that positively charged atom to negatively charged, not atom. Whenever that charge is given, then simply we can say that ion. Okay, so positively charged ion to negatively charged ion. Like this is the ionic bond is obtained. Understood now, beta? See, now come to over here. So once again, what is that? Ionic bond is going to obtain. Okay, How it is going to be obtained? By the transfer of valence electrons from a metal to non-metal. Okay, tell me one thing, always that metals are belongs to which block element beta? Metals are belongs to S block, and non-metals are present in P block only. Where we know that, see, the first two, these 1A and 2A, okay, these are S block, that means that metals. These are S block elements, isn't it now? Like that alkali metals and alkalinate metals, that first A and second A, okay, S block elements. And remaining these third A2 and the last this one, okay, third A2, eighth A group. These are simply we can say what is the non-metals. Means these are belongs to the P block elements from third A to this one, P block. And here mostly the seventh A group elements are that gaseous elements, means that non-metals. So non-metals ni మనం ఇక్కడ ఇంకోటి కూడా అనుకోవచ్చు. What is that? Gaseous elements. Gaseous elements. So in which group? That completely that gaseous elements are there, beta, seventh A group. So that's why seventh A group ke simply here we can contains that most electronegative. Simply we can say more electronegative. Electronegative in the sense means what? That negative charge. And what about that first A group elements? These are more electropositive. More electropositive elements. That means which contains a positive charge, like that is like that first year group elements. So what are the beta except the hydrogen? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and the francium. All are contains that positive charge only. What are the examples of seventh A group? What are the examples beta? Like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine. So all are contains that negative charge only. Like simply we used to write like that, C, like F minus, Cl minus, Br minus, like this, isn't it now? Negative charge. So that's why simply we can say as that more electronegative. Which one? The seventh A group elements. Okay, and let us come to the second one, covalent bond. So how this the covalent bond is obtained? By equal sharing of electrons between the two similar atoms, otherwise they're different atoms. So once again I repeat, first ionic bond, how this that ionic bond is obtained? By the transfer of valence electrons. Covalent bond is obtained by sharing of electrons. Once again ionic bond is obtained by transfer of electrons. Second one, covalent bond is obtained by sharing of electrons. But the third one, coordinate covalent bond, it is a special type of covalent bond. Means this is also can show that similar properties like the covalent bond only. But how it is formed better? By donating electron pairs from the donor to acceptor. Okay. So these three are the important ones. So once again, I repeat, the ionic bond. Ionic bond is obtained by the transfer of valence electrons. Second one, covalent bond is obtained by sharing of electrons. And how do they share beta? How they are going to be shared? Between two similar atoms. It is going to be shared between the two similar atoms, like that chlorine, chlorine. Two atoms are there and two similar atoms are there, and different atoms, hydrogen and chlorine, like that. Okay. And next, coordinate covalent bond. How it is going to be obtained? Coordinate covalent bond is obtained other than formed by the donating of electron pairs over here from the donor to acceptor. Okay. So let us start now about that ionic bond. Let us start about ionic bond. Okay, better. Now let us start about that ionic bond. Explanation for this one. Okay. Here I am writing the explanation for ionic bond. Come on. Okay. Come to the page. See, ionic bond. First, the ionic bond is studied by who, beta? Cosell. Who is studied? Ionic bond is studied by Cosell. Let us see. In that previous statement, see this one I am already shown that ionic bond is formed by what? A transfer of valence electrons. So how they are going to be transferred? See, I given that one examples, and one more thing I'm already told you like this is that electrons is going to shade from that metal to non-metal. Sodium is belongs to first A group element, isn't it now? And chlorine is belongs to seventh A group element. That means that electrons should be transferred from electropositive to electronegative, whether it is that first A group of metal, second A group metal, or D block metal, or whatever it may be. Better simply to say always that electrons should be transferred from, as I said, this one. See beta, uh, uh, from electropositive to electronegative. Okay na? See, S block ante S block electropositive ante positively charged elements to negatively charged elements. That electrons should be transferred from positive charged elements to negatively charged elements. Whether it may be metals ante S block lo unna metal ayi undochu, otherwise that D block is also contains that metals, isn't it na? And that P block also, in that P block also just we are having that a few metals. Okay, so that's why simply here that we can get one conclude like that. What is that? What is that? Always electrons should be transferred from electropositive, because here that sodium is contains that positive charge, plus charge. Chlorine is contains that negative charge. See, sodium and chlorine. Here I am giving that example for that sodium and chlorine. Sodium atomic number beta 11. So how can we write that electronic configuration? 1s2, 2s2, and 2p6, 3s1. So please try to write down it's that electronic configuration. In first orbit it contains that 2 comma, in second orbit is contains that 8 electrons. So 6 plus 2 8, 2 comma 8 comma and 1, only 1. So next come to that chlorine beta. Chlorine atomic number 17. Chalo write down its electronic configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p5. Chalo write down its that electronic method. So in the first orbit, always we need to write in the bracket. In first orbit we are having the 2 electrons. So 2 comma. In second orbit we are having 6 plus 2, 8 electrons. So 2 comma 8 comma. In the third orbit means that outermost orbit, the chlorine contains that 7, 5 plus 2, 7 electrons. So to get the stable here, see beta, to get the stable, any element to contains means how many number of electrons it should contains better to get the stable? 8 electrons. Contains how many? Should contains 8 electrons. Then only it is that stable. So to get the stable, any atom is going to be lose the electrons or gain the electrons or share the electrons. We are already learned in our the previous classes, in our the lower classes, isn't it? So to get the stable means don't forget should contains that 8 electrons beta. Okay, see here 8 electrons are there and here 8 electrons are there, but here see 1 electron is that higher, 1 electron is that more. But what about here to get the stable of that 8 electrons? Only 1 electron is that less to become that 8. So that's why what happens, you know, the sodium atom is going to transfer this 1 electron to the chlorine atom. Then this 7 then becomes as that 8 beta. Then it is also stable. So the sodium atom is going to lose this electron. So that's why it's shown a positive charge, means loss of electron loss. Whereas that chlorine atom is going to gains 1 electron. So shown only 1 negative charge. Okay na? See, I'm already given this one. See beta, sodium 2 comma 8 comma 1, chlorine 2 comma 8 comma 7. So that's why this electron is going to be sharing. So that's why I'm given an arrow beta. See, look at over here. Then it forms sodium chloride. Then it becomes 2 comma 8. And chlorine is also becomes 2 comma 8 comma 8. One more 8 we need to write here. I forgot. Okay. Yeah. One more 8 we need to write over. So now tell me how many number of electrons are transferring beta? Only 1 electron is transferring. Isn't it now? From sodium to chlorine. Sodium to chlorine. is going to transfer only one electron. So depending upon the transfer of this that electron, simply we can say is that electrovalency. Electrovalency. Valency means what? Valency means what? See, in that first part, I'm already. Valency means what? The outer orbit electrons. Then what about that electrovalency? So once again, I repeating, don't get confused. Valence electrons. Valency means what? Huh? The electrons which are present in that outermost orbit. Okay. Then what does it mean of that electrovalency? Electrovalency means what? Those electrons is going to be transferred from electropositive to electronegative is known as electrovalency. So see beta here that in the formation of sodium chloride, sodium is going to transfer one of its electron to the chlorine atom to get the stable. So that's why that sodium chloride electrovalency is 1. Next example. Example 2, let us get that magnesium. So when magnesium is reacts with that oxygen, it forms its oxide, magnesium oxide, MgO. Okay. See that magnesium. What is the atomic number of that magnesium? What is the atomic number of that magnesium? I hope 12. Isn't it now? Magnesium atomic number is the 12. So write down its electronic configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. Okay. Write down that electronic method in the first orbit, bracket 2 comma, second orbit 6 plus 2 8, and the third of outermost orbit having the 2 electrons. Okay. Next magnesium. Next go to that oxygen. Oxygen atomic number we know that. Sorry, I'm writing that atomic mass in a hurry. Sorry, oxygen is that 8. Okay. 1s2, 2s2, 2p4, 4 plus 4 8. Chalo, in first orbit having the 2 electrons, and the second orbit of that outermost having 6 electrons. So 6 electrons means to become that 8 electrons we need to add, means it need to accept, otherwise that it need to gain 2 electrons. So these 2 electrons is transferred by magnesium. Understood now? These 2 electrons is transferred from the magnesium because it is that electropositive, because it's shown that positive charge. So it's going to be losing how many electrons? 2 electrons. So that's why we need to show that magnesium plus 2, and oxygen is going to accept how many electrons? With the 2 electrons. So that's why we show, we can give like that -2. So that's why we need to write when magnesium is reacts with that oxygen, it forms that magnesium oxide. So in the product, no need to write any charge. Magnesium plus 2 and -2 will be cancelled with each other. That's it. Simply we can say that magnesium oxide. Understood? So here how many electrons is going to be sharing with us? See here 2 electrons are not, sorry, sharing, transferring. How many electrons are transferring over here? 2 electrons. So that's why, what is the electrovalency of magnesium oxide? 2 on chapters. So see here I'm already given. So the number of electrons transferred is equal to its electrovalency. Okay. So any metal to non-metal, how many number of electrons, the maximum number of electrons is transferred by a metal to non-metal means maximum 3 beta, maximum 3 only. So that means while writing the compounds here, we need to write the third year group elements like boron. Okay, like boron. Boron is a third year group element. So that's why it's shown that +3. So to balance is here we need to write one negative charge of halogen atom like fluorine, then simply we can write as that BF3. Okay, this is the triatomic, sorry, BF3. So it's that valence is a 3 like that. Okay, like see AlF3, AlCl3, BCl3 like this. Okay, next the ionic bond, the nature is that electrostatic, because that electric charges are shown like that plus and minus, otherwise that coulombic force of attraction is there. What type of the force of attraction is present between here? in this molecule, plus and minus. What type of the force beta? A Coulombic force of attraction is present between the most electropositively charged cation and most electronegatively charged anion. So that force, which force is bind these atoms, which force beta? Simply we can say that Coulombic force of attraction. Okay, and it is a non-directional bond. It is a non-directional bond. I will tell you later what is that directional and that non-directional bond. Okay na? So it depending upon its that coordination number beta, coordination number. Okay, so if the valence is more, it is going to be non-directional. So direction means that a particular direction will be there, but the non-directional means what? Here that sodium. See, I will explain here. Sodium coordination number. Sodium coordination number is that 6. Okay, and chlorine coordination number is also 6. I will tell you later how can we find out the coordination number in the next topic. Okay, na? The limiting radius ratio. One of the topic is there. So what does it mean beta here? So here let us get that one sodium. Okay, here each sodium is going to surrounded by how many chlorine atoms? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So each sodium is going to surrounding by 6 chlorine atoms. Okay, and what is the coordination number of the chlorine beta? 6. So that means again, this chlorine, each chlorine atom is also going to surrounding by 6 sodium atoms. Okay now, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. In the same manner, each chlorine atom 1 2 3 4 5 6 chlorine, 1 2 3 4 5 6 chlorine, 1 2 3 4 5 6, like this beta. So that means depending upon this, just we can get one conclude. What is that beta? In that ionic bond is a non-directional. It goes on. Okay, it is a non-directional. Got it now? Come to the next page. Okay, understood now? Ionic bond. So once again, what is that? Ionic bond. Ionic bond is formed by the transfer of a valence electrons, and this that electrons is going to be transferred from that metal to non-metal. Okay, metal to non-metal. Next. Next, conditions for the formation of ionic bond. What are the conditions? So what type of the conditions are applicable to form ionic bond? First, it must be exothermic. It must be exothermic. Exothermic means what beta? Delta H value is that negative. Delta H value is negative. So what does it mean of that exothermic? I will tell you. Exothermic. First, I need to erase this one. Just a moment. Okay, let's come back. Yeah, here I am ready to explain that exothermic reaction. Now here I will give the one example. Suppose when nitrogen is there, when nitrogen is reacts with that hydrogen, everyone knows like it gives ammonia, NH3. Okay, let's get the balance in the equation. Here two nitrogen atoms are there, but what about here only one? So let's make out two nitrogens. Okay, it's balanced. And next come to let us put the balance of hydrogens at the reactant side. Only two are there, but 2 into 3 6 hydrogens at the product side. So to make the 6 here, we need to make out the 3 better. 3 to the 6. Now, so when how many moles of nitrogen is there? 1 mole of the nitrogen is there, isn't it now? And how many moles or volumes of hydrogen is there? 3 moles or 3 volumes of hydrogen is there. So at the reactant side completely, how many number of moles are there? 1 plus 3, 4 moles are there. So 4 moles of the reactant, it gives 2 moles of ammonia, isn't it? So whenever that ammonia is gives, it releases the some amount of energy also beta. So delta H is equal to negative. How much? 92 kilojoules per mole amount of energy is what happens here. I am showing that negative sign. So negative sign is indicate about what? Releasing energy. Negative sign is indicate about what? Releasing energy. So releasing energy is nothing but exothermic. That's it. Releasing energy is nothing but what? Exothermic reaction. Okay, then instead of that negative, suppose In any another example, if I shown that any positive, if delta H is given as that positive, so positive sign is indicate about what? If the negative sign is indicate that releasing energy, then positive sign is indicating about absorbing energy. Okay, positive sign is indicate about absorbing energy. If releasing energy is known as that exothermic, then absorbing energy is known as that endothermic process. In our the lower classes we are already learned endothermic process of the reactions. Okay, so here what is that? That to form that ionic bond, a compound like that in that previous I'm already shown. See, when sodium is reacts with that chlorine, so here a compound is obtained. Okay, a molecule, how it is obtained better? By transfer of electrons, isn't it now? Then whenever the sodium chloride is obtained, must and should it release the energy. So that means here we need to give a sign what? Negative. And a metal must have low ionization energy. Always a metal like that sodium. Sodium should have what? Low ionization energy. Ionization energy means what? Ionization energy beta. What does it mean of ionization energy? In the previous class we are already learned. Otherwise that in your that lower sections I think that you are already learned the ionization energy. So ionization energy means what? Okay, some amount of, let us suppose here I'm going to get the some amount of energy. Okay, so the minimum amount of energy is required, the minimum amount of energy, because you see better that sodium is contains that what type of that electronic configuration, 2 comma 8 comma 1. So here what happens, this that first the outermost orbit of electrons should be eliminated in the sense means that it should be lost. So to loss directly is going to be lost better. No, we need to apply the minimum amount of energy to lose this electron. Okay, it requires that minimum amount of energy for what? To lose this electron. Which type of that electron? Outermost orbit of electron. Then the sodium atom is becomes to sodium ion, Na plus, because here is going to lose that one electron. So that's why we written Na plus. Let us suppose that magnesium beta. Okay, magnesium, this one, how can we write its electron configuration? 2 comma 8 comma 2. So to get the stable, it need to lose these 2 electrons. So that's why magnesium की कड़ा मने याद रखना, क्या लिखना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे? +2. Magnesium +2 like this. Okay ना? Okay. Now come to here. So to form the ionic bond, the metal should have what? Low ionization energy. That ionization energy should be least. So what type of that elements should contains that low ionization energy better? Low ionization energy. We are already know what is that? In groups. Okay, in groups, while coming from top to bottom, in groups, atomic radius, what happens beta? Atomic radius is increases. Atomic radius is increases. See, I will show you that one example. So this is the nucleus, this is the atomic radius, means only 2 shells are there. So suppose if I take in this one beta, okay, and here I taken that 1 electron over here, and I taken that 1 electron. So which one is having that higher atomic radius? Atomic radius means what? The distance from the nucleus to outermost orbit of electron. The distance from the nucleus to outermost orbit of electron. So which one is having that highest atomic radius? Second one. Okay, second one is having that highest atomic radius. Then what about that nucleus charge beta? Nucleus charge means what? The charge of this electron over to the nucleus is very least, because it is very far from the nucleus, isn't it now? And this is very nearer to the nucleus. So the second diagram is having low ionization energy, and this one high ionization energy, because this electron is very nearer to the nucleus. So having that more ionization energy means that more nuclear charge. And what about this one? Nuclear charge is very less, isn't it now? Means it is very far from the nucleus. So nucleus charge will be low. So increasing in atomic radius, nuclear charge will be low. Then obviously ionization energy is also low, means less, means it requires very least energy it requires, this electron is requires very least energy to lose this electron, to remove this electron. Ade ee electron ni remove cheyalante em cheyali beta, it requires that more energy. Why? Because it is very nearer to the nucleus. Okay, that's why it's that nuclear charge is also very high. Understood? So while coming from the top to bottom in groups, ionization energy will be decreases. So lower energy of the metals always do favor to form ionic bond. According to this, see better, the metals must have low ionization energy. Next, then opposite, if metal ki low ionization energy unte, non-metal ki undali beta must have that high not ionization energy, electron affinity. Electron affinity means what? Ante opposite of that ionization energy. Ionization energy ante enti beta? The minimum amount of energy is required to remove the electron. Mari electron affinity, electron affinity ఈ word లోనే ఉంది. Affinity means what? Affection. Affection means love. Okay, so electron affinity అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తామంటే what we do over here, the minimum amount of energy here that required in ionization energy. But what about here in electron affinity? The minimum amount of energy is released. Energy is released